E-learning for teachers and students. This is topic 10. You'll find in this topic what e-learning is and how e-learning is constructed as a model. You'll also see where e-resources and the online course fit in the model. We shall look at blended learning and the communities of practice. We shall also look at how e-learning model can serve as a template for teachers, how it can also become a useful tool for planning. Here comes the question: what is e-learning? E-learning or electronic learning is a widely used term in business, industry and education. Where ICT provides the vehicle, e-learning can be described as the journey with increased knowledge, understanding and skills as the destination. Use of ICT in various electronic learning activities is what e-learning deals with. One writer defines e-learning as pedagogy empowered by digital technology. So there are several components of e-learning and several services that are related to e-learning. It deals with issues to do with the analysis of learning management, design of learning, how to customize those learning practices, how to audit the e-learning systems. But several other components include online testing modules, simulators, learning management system, online testing systems, learning content management systems, learning administrator systems, and many other components that make up e-learning. To understand e-learning very well, you need to know basically two types of tools. One of them is a web browser. What is a browser? So a browser is a web tool for retrieving and displaying information sources from the web, such as web pages, images, and even videos. So if you are using the internet, you may be using Internet Explorer, you may be using Google Chrome, and another one known as Mozilla Firefox. So all those are web browsers. If you don't have those, it may be very difficult for you to use your internet. So each information resource or website has an address called URL, and that is simply an address where you type in www.yourschool.com, www.macquarie So that's where you get information. So a common feature of web browsers are bookmarks or favorites. So this allow you to record addresses of any website which you want to visit. So if you want to go back to that website, you don't have to search again. The bookmark or the address appears in your commonly used kind of platform, so that you don't go to type all those details again. Then we also have what we call a search engine. A search engine is a web tool for searching for information on the web. The results of a web search are commonly known as hits, and those are the ones which determine whether your website makes money or not. So one of the search engines here is Google. So a very popular search engine worldwide is Google, that claims to index some billions of pages. In China, the search engine Baidu exceeds Google in daily number of users. So what are the e-learning tools online? So e-learning is learning by communicating using the internet and interacting with the content accessed on the internet, all within the context of sound pedagogy. This approach shows e-learning to have two dimensions. It has a communication and a content. So communication deals with issues of internet, the web, and the content, of course, deals with the information, the data, which is factual. So the communication dimension via the internet in terms of communication with others can be conceived as a continuum. At one end of the continuum, there is little or no human communication. At a midpoint position, there is enriched communication within a course, while at the end of the continuum there is a very rich communication via what are called communities of practice. So this illustration here gives us all these points of reference along the communication dimension of e-learning, presented as a vertical axis. Each point of reference is accompanied by a brief explanation. If this slide takes there longer, try to read it very fast and then get the explanation in the notes. Now the content dimension, this is where organization of content for instruction on the internet may also be conceived as a continuum. At one end of the continuum, content is not organized for any particular instruction. This occurs when learners and teachers search the internet for all kinds of information and resources. At a midpoint position of the continuum, content is pre-structured by teachers for a particular course or program. At the other end of the continuum, content is constructed by teachers and learners together as they create new resources which they can make available to others on the web. So it takes up areas of direct communication between the students and the teachers. So the platform becomes very, very active, where each group posts and then another group answers, and the interaction continues. You also need to understand this dimension, look at it very well. The content dimension, where you see that content is not organized for instruction when learners and teachers search for the internet for all kinds of information. So you'll see content organized for instruction, you see content pre-structured within a course, and lastly content co-constructed by teachers and learners. And you'll also see the categories of e-learning, different categories of e-learning, where you'll see e-resources, online courses, blended learning, and communities of practice. We also try to study this illustration and understand it very well. Then we also have the e-learning resources. E-resources refer here to information and learning resources on the web that are available for access by teachers and learners for instruction. Many collections of such instructional resources, sometimes called information repositories, are freely available. Some involve being paid for. So to access these resources, all you need is a search engine. With Bookmarks, you can return easily to search favorite resources. Yes, this is an example, just of course how they look like. So all these online resources, they are also provision for courses. Online courses are offered by many teaching institutions around the world, usually for a fee, but often as part of a diploma or degree. In Uganda, there's one which is being launched within a short time. It is to do with the support for secondary education. So there are also many free online courses on a multitude of subjects offered by organizations and by individuals. One of them, the commercial course management system, which provides for a presentation of course materials on the web, testing, feedback, plus other features. This is called the Moodle. We also have what we call blended learning. Blended learning is a term to describe learning that combines different learning environments, typically use of learning via the web and face-to-face teaching. So it combines the use of online courses and traditional teaching methods such as discussion, seminars, and tutorials. It also requires use of tools such as mobile phones, tablet, laptop, interactive whiteboards, and many others. And the last area of concern is what we call communities of practice. So these are groups of people, such as teachers or even students, who share a common interest, topic, or ideas and experiences. They communicate through email or via video conferencing and social network. Let's also look at the extended view of e-learning. E-learning is using the internet for communicating and allocating content within the context of sound pedagogy in order to access e-resources for classroom instruction, participate in online courses, provide blended learning by combining online content with the other teaching methods, and offer support for communities of practice to share ideas and experiences. So there is a template for teacher education. If based on sound pedagogy, e-learning provides a way forward in that it sets out a framework for in-service training and provision of support to bring out high quality teachers. It supports the training of teachers and offers high quality education cheaply. It also supports new strategies and new approaches in the area of teacher professional development. And if used properly and continuously, it can lead to a total change in what teachers can do and what they can do in a short time. Thank you very much for listening.